Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Karlene, and in this week's video I'm going to show you how simple, quick and easy it is to make your own candle. I sourced the main 2 ingredients from Kmart, so it's budget friendly, and I'm so excited to get started because making candles has been on my bucket list all winter long. Please subscribe for more easy recipes, homemaking and simple living ideas on a budget. Let's get into today's video. To make our candles we're going to need some empty jars, and I did plan on using some smaller ones, but to be honest I needed to clean them out of the old candle wax that was in there, and I wanted to make this really quick and easy, so I'm just going to go ahead and use some jars that I had from Kmart and from an old jam jar. So I got this packet of soy wax from Kmart. It was $5 for the packet. I will link it below, and something similar if you're trying to find something like that. I didn't realize until this very moment that you could just microwave it in order to make your own candles. So that was super easy, and I'm really looking forward to pulling this together. I think I'm going to have more fun decorating it than I am just pouring the wax, but we'll see how it goes. I did want to get some special wicks, so instead of having to use cotton wicks and threading them around the toothpick and blah blah blah, I just wanted to use wooden candle wicks, also because I wanted to hear that crackling wood sound that you get with premium candles, but without the $50 price tag. Don't mind the chocolate self-saucing pudding batter on the back. That's been a weekly staple in my house since it's been cold, so we're going to use that, my old jars. And I found this, I'm really excited to try this, pumpkin spiced latte fragrance oil. This is from an Australian company called Wax and Wicks. It was very affordable. I'll link it below. The fragrance has a creamy, spicy, warming blend of nutmeg, ginger, pumpkin, caramel with a sweet buttermilk base. I can't wait to see how they turn out. I found this long sleeve shirt from Silly Sollies. It was $5. They had like a winter range in with flannies, so I was really happy with that pattern, and I have a plan for the leftover fabric. Watch this space. I found some timber buttons from there as well, so I had a plan to create a rustic look with these items. I was so happy to see that I could use a microwavable dish to warm these up, but I also didn't buy enough soy wax because I was planning on using 2 or 3 smaller jars, but now I've got the bigger 300ml jars. This is a 300 gram bag of soy wax. Do the math, Schmarlene, it's not enough wax for 2 full candles. So I went ahead and measured out about 600 mils of the soy wax flakes, thinking I've got 2 300ml roughly jars, and that would be enough for the 2. Spoiler alert, it's not. But what you should do is microwave it for 2 minutes a pop, and then for 10 seconds for each additional time to get it to a runny consistency before working with it and adding in your fragrance oil. Now that my soy wax has melted substantially, I'm going to add in my wooden wicks to the base of my jars. I'm just using a wooden chopstick to stir it, and don't ask me why. I think somewhere I read not to use steel and I had a wooden chopstick, so here we go. Well, I also had the idea that I wanted to add the wax to the bottom of the jar before adding the wicks in to hold them in one place and make sure that they were stable before tipping in the hot wax. And I figured that would be easier to do with a wooden chopstick compared to a spoon that would drop in a lot more wax than what I wanted. You know, there's a method to my madness, right? It made sense to me at the time. One tip that I had read in multiple sources, that when making candles you want to make sure that your wax isn't so hot that you can't handle it or the container that it's in before adding your fragrance, because otherwise it might just cook off the fragrance, like the oil of the fragrance, the carrier oil, and then you'll be left with nothing. So I can sort of handle my Pyrex dish by now, so I'm just adding in some drops of the fragrance oil. It didn't come out that easily, as you can tell, and I did think that I would have enough across the 2, so at this point I added like 40 drops, so I think I lost count. So this will be a strong smelling candle because it ends up being mainly enough for just the one. So we're just going to stir that through and add that to our jar to set. I was conscious not to fill the jar right to the brim because I needed to trim off the wick, and I wanted to be able to put a lid on top if I needed to. We're going to leave this to set for 24 hours before we can light it. So here I have got the remaining wax that I warmed up. I wasn't thinking about the amount of wax that I had left, so I shouldn't have done it for 2 minutes like I did for the first lot. But as you can see, it did come out clear as opposed to sort of condensed milk like the first time. So it's too hot to handle. I cannot touch it at all, which means that I cannot add my fragrance in. So I'm just going to let that cool off to the side. Otherwise, all of that fragrance will just evaporate and it will be pointless. I really want a pumpkin spiced latte candle. So let that cool down and then I'll come back to it. I'm going to have to go back to the store and get some more wax. And then I had the idea, ooh, what if I scented it differently for that layer so I could have different flavors together in the one candle? Thoughts? Would you do that? Comment below and let me know if you could pick your favorite fragrance, what would you make? While the candles are setting or curing, I'm going to have a play with this fabric. I had planned on just cutting out strips and using a hot glue gun to attach it, and then I thought, hang on a minute, this cuff looks like, I didn't realize they came with buttons already because it was covered up in the packaging. But I did think, oh, this cuff looks like it might be the exact same size that I would need to wrap around that candle. That way there's no sewing, there's no gluing, it's super quick, super easy. So I'm going to try giving that a go. I didn't, see the buttons on there, so I could have saved myself that purchase. But I did want some like bigger, thicker timber looking buttons, and I was going to use the rustic twine that I thought I had to attach it, but it turns out I used that to tie up my snow peas in the back garden onto a trellis. So plan B it is. But for this part, I'm just going to go with it and have a bit of an experiment, and I'm just going to cut as close as I can to the seam without cutting the actual fabric like cuff. And I'm going to see if I can use this to make it look almost like a coffee cup warmer, and just slip that right over the top to decorate my candle the simplest way possible. So it's the next day, my candles have cured overnight, and it's not quite 24 hours, but I just wanted to get this project completed because, to be honest, I was excited to use it. And I loved how the fabric that I had chosen complements that this is our happy place sign. That was a happy accident. So, you know, love it when things go to plan, not. Unlike my twine that is in the snow pea patch and not on my candle. It would have looked so much closer to the image in my mind if I had rustic, earthy coloured twine and with that texture, but we're going to make do with our cream coloured wool. Now, don't ask me who thought it would be a great idea to give this to the cat to play with, but we're just going to roll with it. Here is our finished product. I think it is so cute and adorable, and I can't wait to make more. I think I'm going to have to do another video where I try different fragrances and different ways to decorate them using things that you may have around the house. What do you think? Would you enjoy watching a video like that? Comment below and let me know. I decided to leave the second candle simple and sweet until I can top him up with some more fragranced candle wax. So this is it for this week's video, guys. Thank you for watching. I will link some other videos below that I think you might like, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.